segments in either direction off of where you put your redstone down, be it underneath the track itself, or if you put it off to the side, like in the older systems, like that one right there. You want to make sure that it'll run actually 8 in either direction before it dies out, and then that's where you would put your next powered segment if you have a totally powered run. Again, that burns up resources like mad, especially with TU 1920 and now 21, taking away that extra little method we had for getting a ton of powered track. So if you suddenly laid all that down and you figure out you got to go back and trim it out so you can use it effectively, this is what you would do. You're going to go 5 and then 8 unpowered, and that setup is going to end up turning it so that you recover probably 50% of the track, but still have everything powered. Burying it and putting blocks around it like you saw at the bottom, where you'll see that upcoming, actually just helps protect it in case creepers come flying in and blow up. We all know how much fun those things are. But here we just counted out 8 powered spaces, took them out. We're going back to regular track. Now there's enough of a relay to go that whole distance and make it. The 5 is enough to get a good power boost on the car to keep it, moving down the entire segment of the track. Here we're just going to cut 5. You will notice that we have a short dead zone right here that we're going to do just for the sake of trying to recover track. It's not a requirement, but I have 5. Then I have a couple of gaps. You only need like 1 right at the end. I happened to start the power underneath in the last segment earlier, so I just did 2 unpowered, and then I have to power this. Now we're going to do another build so you see that a second time. Come in here, lay this down through this segment. Again, it's just more of a platform to be able to put things on. I'm going to put lights on that afterwards, but in this case we're looking to get down underneath it. It should really only be 3 if you remember where you're going to lay your track down. And it doesn't even have to be that. You can do 1 piece, but you're going to have to box it in, so it's, again, more aesthetics than anything else. Cut through there. You need to make 2 deep again. So you want to go with blocks on all 4 sides of that. It was an extra one, don't worry about it. And now here I'm making kind of a truss. So you go across the bottom. Now it's too deep. Now it's totally sealed. And for aesthetics, if you want to make it into a standing truss, you just come down here and cut away and put it all the way down to the ground, rather than just have it hanging in midair. So now we've got a 2 deep box waiting to go on that tread, or on that trestle. And here we're going to run back up the powered hill that we've had in place. And I got a dead segment that needs to be finished. Now that I got the 2 deep, I don't have to get anything out of there or dig anything out like dirt or whatever. So I'm going to throw a redstone torch down in here. And then I'm going to put a block on top of that again to reseal it. And then I'm going to put the powered track back and power this 5 segment leg right here. Again, don't worry about those 2 ways. One of them will not work because you're only testing in one direction. If you find problems later, you can go back and power it from the other end and work your way backwards just to kind of debug the whole thing. I've been stuck doing that once or twice. But here we're throwing the lights down just to kind of keep the creepers and all them ugly things away from you, because you know they love to show up. And we'll be expanding later, replacing that track you can see down the line. It needs to be powered up and down the hill. After that, it doesn't need to be there. So this ends this segment, and hopefully be able to make a tram system with call buttons like we did and get around easier.